Hello, does it work? I'm not as well organized, so I have like big pieces of paper, so I have to stand here, which is not very interactive. But you will have enough interactive sessions afterwards. I'm Sophie, I'm the project manager of the Democracy Lab at das Progressive Zentrum, and with Hanno, we are, I'd say, the people behind the Innocracy conference, and of course there's a great team. I'd like to thank straight away for making this possible today, and thanks so much for coming, despite being a work day, and we know it's Berlin, so it's really hard to get out of the office, so thanks for that. 3 points. I'll give you a little run through what actually the Democracy Lab is, then run through the day, and finally I'll present the moderator on the main stage today, who's Nicola, and yeah, I'll present him later. But first, on the Democracy Lab itself. So it's not on the logo here, but it should be on the logos there and on the programs. The Democracy Lab has been launched in April 2017, which was a time right after 2016 when maybe you remember Brexit and Trump and everyone was really afraid of something's not going wrong with democracy, but we don't know what to do. And so you had lots of people focusing on populism, security, migration, borders, everything that is going wrong with liberal democracy, instead of maybe looking forward and trying to find how we can adapt to our transformational challenges of our times. So that's why we created this lab, which is a very fancy word, and you have lots of labs, but still. Because we were saying that you need to preserve the values and the fundamental pillars of democracy, whilst adapting all the things that are not going well with it. So institution, processes, but also maybe our mental models about how we think about democracy. So that's what we did. We launched several projects, amongst other this conference. So it's the second Democracy conference. The first one took place in November 2017, and I saw a few people who were there last year as well, so welcome back. And last year we focused a bit more on process innovations, so very practical aspects on how to innovate democracy, and this year we're going on the meta level and we're thinking about the really, really big subjects. So you can see them in the thematic clusters. There's digital democracy, sustainable democracy, community and belonging, and systemic reform, which is a very broad topic, but we thought it's really important, so that's why we chose them. We also have lots of other projects, for instance, one on representativity in liberal democracy. There's a workshop at 11 starting with Mike Bono, who's one of our policy fellows, or some others about how young people can get more political participation, but also more innovative formats, for instance, trainings for people working in administrations, and how to have more democracy in this decision-making on the very level of the ministries, for instance. But the most important is the Innocracy conference, where we decided to have an international conference with people who are democratic innovators, to join them in Berlin and to exchange on that day, to discuss, to discover new projects, and to rethink democracy, or to think beyond this kind of democracy, as Hannah just said. So that's the basic idea of the Democracy Lab, and I'm very happy that you're all here today to discuss all these very important issues with us. A quick run through to the day. So as you've seen on the program, there's a lot happening today. There will always be something happening on this stage, starting with a panel discussion between young leaders. Unfortunately, the CDU parliamentarian had to cancel, so we will have 3 young leaders. I think we will still have a very interesting discussion, and Nicola will moderate that. And we have, next to this stage, 4 more workshop rooms. So now you have to listen because it's quite interesting. This one is the room 1, so you have to go this way. You have to take the other door here to go to room 2. And if you want to go to room 3 and 4, you have to go downstairs and through the interior court and up the other stairs. Got it? All good? Okay. That's the most important part. There's space for about 20 to 30 people in each room, so just go there and have fun. 2 more things, please be on time, and please, once you decided for a workshop room, stay there so the session host can do their workshop properly. So there's a morning, a midday, and an afternoon session. Maybe an important part as well is that you will have a framework program which will be moderated by Hanno. It's part of the concept of this conference, so it gives you time to reflect on what you just heard, maybe exchange a little bit more. It's not a coffee break. You will have coffee breaks afterwards, and there are enough coffee breaks, so don't worry. As Hanno said, also downstairs on the coffee place, there's a marketplace of ideas where you can find other very, very interesting organizations that are our partners. We thought that to get more input, you can have even more organizations. And the last thing is that there is a summer party tonight, for those who didn't know, with ministers and Robert Habeck, who's the Secretary General of the Greens. You're all welcome to stay. There will be some food afterwards as well. That's the conference and then the summer night of Das Progressive Zentrum. And finally, that's my third point and my last point, because I've talked enough, is that I'd like to present Nicola Foster, who's our moderator for today. Please come on stage, Nicola. I'll have to present him. He's the one who will guide you through the day today here on the main stage. He's founder and president of the foreign policy think tank Voraus in Switzerland. He's lots of other things, so I'll have to read. It's co-founder of the Staatslabor, Global Shapers Bern, not Berlin. The Global Diplomacy Lab, vice president of the Fondation Sciences et Cité, and a board member of the WEF Open Forum. So he does a lot of things. The most important thing you have to remember about him is that he's Swiss, he's a political entrepreneur, and he has a very good taste in bow ties as well. Yes, you will moderate the discussions, and he will tell you a little bit more about social media and the live stream, because we have a camera down there, and you're also very welcome to tweet a lot of things. Yeah, and thank you, and enjoy your day, and have fun.